we will have Jerome here for some important closing remarks.
And good evening. It's been a great conference. It's been a great symposium, patient-family gathering. And it has a lot to do with the people in this room. And I'm just going to drop out of my speech completely. But, you know, when people talk about meeting LeBron James or meeting all of these different people, I just kind of wonder they do a great job going down the basketball court, but how have they positively affected a human being's life? You know? So whenever I stand here and I look at this group, you affect humanity. So thank you for that. So back to the regular speech. So for as far as the ECDGA, I'm the person that makes sure that the insurance is paid for and, you know, keep up with the database subscription, which we did have a problem. We ran out of database space, and we had to purchase more for the registered patients and physicians and so forth. So if you look up here, and these slides have been moving through lunchtime and breaks, we have 1,100 patients registered with us, but look at the medical professionals. How many places can say that you have 3 medical professionals for each patient registered? That is amazing. As far as some of the other numbers, the metrics, 25 webinars, the videos went from 135 to 284 available. Right now we are doing a huge upgrade on the videos, so it's easier they're going to be categorized a little bit better, a little bit easier to search. So if you need to find certain keywords, it's going to be a little bit easier to find that. You would think that would be an easy task. It is a mammoth task. So we have several different media channels, specialty brochures, just all kinds of information. And the one thing that I'll say is, you could say this is from one little bitty office in southwest Louisiana. It's actually an old school room. One full-time person, 2 part-time people, but the volunteers is what really makes it happen. So we've called, there are several people in this room I've called and asked, hey, can you help us on a brochure? Can you help us on this? And you get it done, and it is great. So we do appreciate you. We always have to remember that we're 100% funded by individuals, just very little corporate donations. So the patients that we met yesterday, those are our donors. You're our donors. So we did skip out. There was no government donations, so we didn't lose any money recently. But as you can see, and that's what I was talking about with the individuals versus everybody else. So we've spoken about ECD all day today. And like I told the patients, the GA part is what I want to concentrate on for just a minute, the Global Alliance. That is everything for the patients that I met yesterday. And I had the honor to interview several of them, just like I interviewed some of you. And it was just really interesting, the same stories that they gave us. Different parts are affected, but it's the same stories. And it was the heart of a physician that met them in their need. So what if every person was found earlier and supported where they live? The patients talked a lot about this. They talked about how they struggled until they got to a care center. And then the neat part was how the care center coordinated with their local doctor to make it easy for them to get treatment. You know, of course, they're getting updates from the care center, but they really appreciate the collaborative nature that is part of this alliance. So, Erdheim-Chester disease has never respected borders, towns, political divides, anything like that. Being part of a global alliance means that knowledge gained in one location is shared to another, and this collaboration can change the outcome around the world. Insights from each patient, lab, clinic inform the care worldwide. It is such a privilege to be here in the midst of where it's all happening. It's not a single effort, rather it's connected, a committed alliance of science and action, orchestrated by the hands of people with huge hearts and determined perseverance. That's the strength of this alliance, and that's what's going to continue moving this field forward. So where do we go from here? We will say that we're doing a lot of work on our translation parts of our website. Now, right now, our website will support 12 different languages. Some of our software is English only, and like if I have to email Julian, I'm going to translate it with AI, then I'll have a different AI translate it back to me to make sure that it says what I actually wanted it to say. So we have, through the Every Life Foundation, we received a grant to add a module to some of our software that changes that software from English only to 110 different languages, which is important for each person to be able to get their information in their native language. So for medical professionals, same thing that you're doing: refer, collaborate, teach, present, research, and then grow these care centers. Because every patient yesterday, it was just care center, care center, care center, care center. When they got to the care center, that's whenever they found answers. So thank you for that. So a couple of things that I'm going to personally ask if you'll do. Schedule an expert hour at a specialty conference. So what we do is we go to these specialty conferences and we try to talk to dermatologists, rheumatologists, whatever tologists we're at. And sometimes they'll ask us a couple of questions that we don't know how to answer, but we always have an expert, or recently we have an expert scheduled to come back to. So they'll come back and speak to whoever we have scheduled for that. So if you're going to a specialty conference, let us know. Just drop us an email or something like that. We may be going to the same one. If we are, we might ask you to please come help us at a certain time on a certain day. It would really benefit a lot of people, because when we're at these specialty conferences, and when I say we, it's usually Diane and Jerome, when we're at these specialty conferences, it's really interesting to meet the doctors. And Diane will tell you, sometimes a doctor will walk by and they're like, I've never had an ECD patient. And then one right behind him, I think it was in rheumatology, said that he did have an ECD patient and just didn't know it. So education is huge, because we're meeting these mid-career doctors that have heard that there's 3 letters that go together that represent something strange. But now we're finding medical students that will tell you there's a line in the textbook, and we love to get our medical students involved. We'll actually stop them in the conference and say, do you want to stump your professor? That stops them in their track. Here they come. We give them information about ECD, and you can see they're just absorbing it. Hopefully they'll go back and ask their professor in front of the whole class, and then the whole class will know a little bit about ECD. So let us know about your next conference you're going to, anything you're going to, so we can be collaborative and share the information. So help early career investigators submit a grant proposal. We have the grants will be coming out pretty soon in July, August, late summer, early fall. And you can see that the grant money that goes out to fund the research steadily grows each year. So volunteer, donate. And I'd like to thank a few people. So Dr. Goyle, thank you for being a wonderful host. I don't know about you, but when Dr. Goyle gets behind this microphone, I know I'm getting ready to get entertained or educated, or both. So all speakers, please, thank you. Thank you for your time, the staff, and the volunteers. And I'd like to take just a second to mention Kathy Brewer, whose vision changed the trajectory of ECD for the whole world. That tall, meek, but a powerhouse, right? She has such a way of telling you that you're wrong whenever in making you enjoy the conversation, you know? So this evening, we'll have the medical reception. We'll be on the 3rd floor here at 6 o'clock. We think the rain is going to hold off long enough. We'll see. Dr. Goyle says it is, so it is. So we hope to see you then. And then also the Care Center meeting will be, and I want to make a disclaimer here. It was supposed to be at the Wallace Tumor Institute, I think 231. That's what's in your program. It is now back to what we originally knew it to be as 101. So it's on the bottom floor. As you walk in the door, it'll be to the right. So, no, it's one over. So what we're going to do is after Dr. Roca speaks, I'm going to leave a slide up here for you to take a picture. It's walking and driving directions. That'll take you right to the front door, okay? All right, so an announcement. We have the next conference will be in Glasgow, Scotland. So looking forward to that. And